time. He absolutely loved it. It became meta and he really got good at it and then just continued playing it. He didn't really stop. So shotgun knees back towards that top side. And let's see what Dundun's going to do. It's also blind Urgot, which is completely insane.
No, we have Cassante. So they're
oh, right, yes, of course. So never mind. I got a little bit excited. So now we've got the Silas being picked up. Fiesta's going to be taking that into the Syndra. Not the greatest 1v1 matchup, but certainly a lot of great ultimates to throw out here for Fiesta.
I don't know how... if Keen picks it, then clearly he thinks it has a good matchup in the Cassante. I hope we get a lot of attention paid towards the top side, because I don't necessarily see it. I feel like the Cassante at least should be able to, with his W, try and cancel the Urgot E, and then that takes away a lot of power. Maybe it'll be like a Q-Max build. We'll see what ends up happening. I have not seen Urgot in quite a while, so...
Yeah.
Going to be very cool to see what it's going to bring in terms of build, what it's going to bring in terms of overall power level here, because definitely coming out of left field, a little bit of creativity here. I'm liking it, Atlas. Now let's see whether or not it actually pays off, because KT in his first game should make a statement and try to really crash down on Nolship.
No, I agree. Rel or no Rel, I think crashing down is definitely going to be a good idea. Definitely had to do it. I am sorry. I'm just going to be glued to the top side of the map. Aww. Tokyo, which is Germany. Greetings from Germany. Very cute.
Love it.
And from Poland as well.
Wow. We've been getting a lot more global fans.
I know.
It's
very,
amazing.
Very cool. Welcome,
really
welcome.
Fun to see.
I don't think they can hear us because, of course,
oh no,
I couldn't see any headphones.
So we're going to do it anyway.
Not going to see us, but very, very cool that we've got so many global fans around LoL Park. And they get to witness the Keen Urgot, the fear beyond death himself, epitomized into Dundun, who gets to build
all reliable
tank items. Yeah. Purely tank items. But in Cassante's case, they transform into a little bit of damage for him as well. But very cool draft. Let's see how they work as we hop onto the Rift for game one. All right, here we go. Keen just walking his way up the river with his shotgun knees out, having a great time. He looks like a unit in a Chaos Marines Warhammer 40k set, doesn't he?
Yeah,
a little bit.
He does. I don't have anything else to add. It was a great point. I personally have never really dabbled in the physical act of Warhammer. I did play the games. They had some really good RTSs.
Yeah, Total War was really
back in the day. Yeah, there was also, I want to say Dawn of War. Fiesta might die here. Oh, no, he's good.
Gonna see that ward.
He gets 5 free gold. That's my favorite addition to this preseason. The Pokemon pad is kind of whatever. But when you ping a ward, you get money. it feels good. Atlas, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just ping it.
Promoting pings all over the place actually just sounds like a great idea, according to me. That's a very cute ward, also going down there. As Dundun placing one down. Fiesta taking a bit of damage here from B2D, but also being able to give a fair bit back as well. See how this mid lane is going to go, of course. B2D can be very oppressive on this champion, but he's going to need to, very early on, to really dictate the pace. Because I think that it'll take a few levels, but at that point, Fiesta is going to have a really good time. Look at these shotgun knees, looking gorgeous.
Like level 1 of Urgot in general is very strong, as it was actually Keen that played it last into DRX King last year in spring. In general, this is definitely a very strong level 1, and particularly I think Cassante, considering he doesn't have his W yet, can't really do anything about Keen flipping him over. Also, I am not sure if Dundun has ever played a match against Urgot. Ever, because he is a Challengers player, he is very young, and Urgot hasn't really been a champion in a long time. I remember Urgot versus Aatrox every single, was that like 2018?
2018 or something, like 2017? Yeah, it was around.
It was a long time ago.
I think I was casting the LCK, I think at the time, but it might have been even LPL times, so which would have been like 2014, 2015.
There was a year that was just Urgot Aatrox.
Yeah, 2015 was crazy Urgot, wasn't it?
I think it was this Urgot, but it's really hard to keep track.
It is. I struggle.
You're talking about swapping places Urgot, right?
Yeah.
Freaky Friday Urgot. Yeah, I don't think it was that Urgot.
I really did like a bit of Freaky Friday Urgot.
It was really an old League of Legends champion.
Yeah.
As in, like, it was very old League. The kit didn't make a lot of sense. I think he got played in, like, support at some... It's just like Poppy, right? Where, like, the ultimate
Yep.
didn't...
Yeah, no,
It didn't really make sense.
And
you're
just
like,
flash ulting someone
Yeah.
is just really, really broken.
Yeah.
God, it was a bit silly. As aiming, dashing forward, Vital taking way too much damage here. We've seen this matchup be very, very difficult. Of course, we've seen the Lulu variety a lot more because Yuumi has been banned the majority of the time. But this can go very similarly. But as you can see, Vital actually farming this one out very nicely. Some Force of Will coming through here in this mid lane. Great little stuns to come down from B2D, who is doing exactly what he needs to in this lane.
Cuz is waiting for the Raptors to spawn, going to be able to pick those up. Has not cleared his own Krugs, so for the foreseeable future, not going to be able to pick up a lead over Sylvie. Only sitting on level 3, at least for now. We'll be able to get it. After all, going to be able to track nicely as Sylvie now going to see that his camps are taken and then head towards the bot side. All of this on vision, so complete pathing for the Wukong now going to be known for the foreseeable future as Dundon is, what is this champion? Well, I did not know this exists.
Why do his legs keep exploding?
Why am I getting shot? Like, what's happening? And we joke, of course, even if you are a casual player, then gonna have played against the most champions. But I do actually think it's very relevant that even though I don't know how familiar Keen is with specifically the matchup into Cassante, as you pointed out, Keen himself, his Urgot is definitely, I don't want to say the most iconic, but he is one of the Urgot players, right? As
Keen?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think he's probably the Urgot
yeah?
player.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Again, I was not there when the meta was Urgot, so I'm going to default back to you in that case. But playing a champion where you know the limits very well and you're very well aware of where your spikes are and whatnot, can make it very hard for your opponent to play into if they don't have that knowledge themselves. Wave State here kind of subpar for Vital and Peter. Sylvie is on the way to help build them out.
Yep. I keep watching the corrosive charge go down from the Urgot, and I keep expecting to see homing missiles fly at the enemy, which really is a sign of my age. Wow. As, yeah, 43 to 34, the Urgot doing his job towards that top side. Went back, collected himself a Vampiric Scepter. Interested on what the build is going to look like for good old Urgot this time around, because, you know, having a year between Urgot look-ins does mean that we're not quite sure what his preference in items is going to be. Might just be shield bow into something.
Sightings?
Yeah, Urgot sighting.
You said lookings.
Oh, well, I mean, you could use sightings if you wanted to, but I think lookings is fine. I think everyone.
Only I get to make
saying.
mistakes, okay? As we're baiting.
Yeah, Aiming gonna have to relentlessly escape this one. Bubble is good for zoning, but Lehen's still in trouble. Taking a lot of damage.
Oh.
Flashes too late. And Aiming's not gonna get enough back. That's first blood going over to Nongshim.
Incredible amount of damage coming through there. Really not ready. As ooh, BDD. Might have been a window there. They didn't want to go for it. Didn't want to take the risk. Cuz though going to loop around. Will get spotted now.
All right, Fiesta, let's see whether he's going to be forced to flash. Looks like the answer is no. Just going to miss out on some minions as Cuz makes his way out. And I'm an idiot because I actually forgot that Keen's already done this as well. It's the Hydra abuse Urgot. Not quite as bad as it was at the beginning of the preseason, but still probably going to be heading in that direction.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well. I remember when it was Titanic Hydra Rush. That was
I know, cute time.
super busted. As Lehen's is also here, so it's not just a gank.
That's immediate revenge being claimed as Dundun. He's Cassante, so you can bring as many friends as you want. He's just going to vacate the area.
Yeah, he's completely fine. Even at Sylvie in the immediate area for possible backup. He's going to back here though, and I think he might miss out on some minions as a result. But yeah, just very straightforward here. Vital and Peter smelling blood. Sylvie able to get a lot of damage down. That flash, I feel very, very bad about the fact that Vital was able to actually get the damage off before the flash comes through. And if Lahens flashes early there, at the very least, he would be forcing some flashes. Either Sylvie has to flash after him, or maybe Vital does, but that is not going to be the case here. And losing early on in this matchup is definitely rough, especially with the barrier being taken into Syndra and Sejuani. I do think that it is a risk we've seen already with most notably the Maokai and the Lissandra, where that can lead to. But in terms of laning pressure, having pressure as Yumi and Zeri is a great look here early on for Nongshim.
Yep, at least he doesn't have to worry about the hyperkinetic position reverser, which I believe was over.
Wow. Atlas, when was... I want you to dig deep. When was Urgot reworked exactly?
I think it was reworked in like 2015?
Yeah.
2014, 2015? Something like that.
That's 8 years ago.
Yeah. But I think that was the name of it. I'm not entirely...
I'm just impressed.
It was something
knowing.
like that. Position reverser of some kind. Sylvie is going to find a Cyclone onto Lahens here, though. Gets the double knock-up. This is 1 versus 2, by the way. And he is going to go in and pick it up. Cuz is, he's going to find a permafrost. There's an ultimate, but he's going to have to get out of there because the bottom lane will turn up. Oh my god, Nongshim.
I've seen Sylvie do this in Challenger. I was not expecting him to do it in the LCK. Really nicely done there. Going in 1v2, sidestepping the bubble from Lahens there. Really very cognizant of the damage that he himself has available, right? The burst that he has with the Sheen pickup and the ultimate as well.
Man.
Yeah.
That was brutal. Fiesta is going to get stunned up. That scat of the week was pretty cool with a couple of orbs on the field.
Oh, man. Fiesta really nerves of steel. He is not afraid at all. as meanwhile, in top lane,
he's done the calculations.
We are still smacking each other as Kaz's ultimate here as well, right? It's just, he has red buff, like no hesitation. Lahens, of course, had the late flash previously, so he knows that the moment he gets on top of this, it's just immediately game over. And because Vital and Sylvie actually, or Vital and Peter rather, actually respond very well, although I don't know how much choice Peter had in that one, because he's Yumi. There is no opportunity to counter for KT either. They can't collapse on Sylvie, who just has used those cooldowns, because the Yumi and the Zeri is there. And if Zeri picks up like 2 more kills, then the game is actually just over. There's not that much more that you should be able to do.
Yeah.
And is it gonna happen twice in a row, Atlas? Is that the day we're having?
Are you saying that the Nongshim super team might lose? Is that what you're saying? I don't think so. I think they're in a great position.
They're a super team in my heart. I don't think they qualify as a super team unless you're a die-hard fan of Challengers.
I was going to say, I mean, they did win Challenger, you know. They've won a lot more than KT have.
They made it to finals
over the last little while.
In spring as well, even though they weren't supposed to. But then they lost.
Hilarious. Well, we'll see whether this power of friendship's going to work. Right now, BDD in trouble. He does have flash, but I don't think using it's going to do anything. Scatters the weak, but they are in fact the strong. There he goes.
And Sylvie in the first game they played didn't really have that big of an impact. Was kind of struggling, I do think. Played a pretty lackluster Viego from the top of my head as well. But this game on Wukong, he's running the game, right? Like he has been able to now, still with 100% kill participation, snowball bot lane, now snowball mid lane. Kill actually going to Fiesta is particularly big because Silas is one of those picks where if you get 1 kill, if you get 2 kills, you can really start enforcing all-ins every single time that you have your E available. And it's very straightforward. Not too much to say. Very little time for BDD to respond. Nice CC chain. By the time he's able to scatter them away, it's already way too late. Oh.
KT are looking for Dundun. They have spotted their target, but always, Nongshim are ready. They do not let a man down.
Look at Fiesta.
Yeah, that's a couple of plates going over to KT, but yeah, Fiesta was roaming up inside track. Actually unnecessary, because BDD was on the bottom side of the map. I thought that Cuz was, in fact, the Syndra. He was not. As Vital down here, just looking to try and get what he can. After Gasol over the wall there, gets Cuz to relative safety, but Fiesta with some time with this turret is definitely a big deal.
Yeah, they're actually getting, I think, the better end of this trade, even with the plates being picked up on topside. Is indeed the Ravenous Hydra, as you pointed out. Keen teleporting towards topside actually does help a lot. If Vital picks up a plate there as well. It's kind of a disaster as, oh boy, Cuz just, this is payback for Sylvie's chickens that he stole. Does smite it away though, nicely done. Or actually, no, never mind, it's Sylvie who does get it.
He does.
He got pranked.
Sylvie having a great time. Currently 1-0-2.
Has a Yuumi on his back as well.
Yeah, has a Yuumi, has a Mythic. And Yuumi Wukong is a phenomenal combo. We've seen it utilized many, many times throughout last year especially, but also already here in 2023. As we check this out one more time. Dundun.
The surprise Teemo emote as 4 people show up in his lane. And a little bit quick on the trigger there from KT. If you go for a play after the flash is used, I think Asante, knowing him, probably still going to be fine as Alt Reliable setting a trap. This is aiming with teleport as well, so I don't think the trap's doing a lot. But
yeah,
you know, he's giving it a go.
Oh, aiming is absolutely fine. Dundun happily catching the wave though, so no worries there whatsoever. Just looking to grab a little bit of damage on this turret. In the meantime, P2D in a fair bit of trouble. The final chapter comes down, but that scat of the week was fantastic. Fear beyond death! And Fiesta explodes.
A little bit too much chewed off there by Nongshim, trying to both play for mid while your jungler is taking Dragon. That's not allowed. Very nicely timed. Keen gonna be able to pick himself up and get a kill there. And very important, I think, that KT keeps finding these type of kills if they do not want to get completely out-tempoed and outpaced in this game. But 2 Drakes available for Nongshim. Another Ocean.
Yeah.
So Cuz might be in trouble.
Yeah, Sylvie still dashing forward. There's the culling. Dundun happily tanking that one up as they get the flash out of Cuz. Tidal Wave going to come through as well. Sylvie with the cat. Dundun's going to turn up as well as aiming's going to get knocked up with the second activation. But still, KT make it out. No flash needed for aiming. And he has teleport so he can make his way back at a moment's notice if he'd like.
Don't quite have the damage available there. If the Yuumi ultimate was there, would have been easy, but not going to be the case here. Cuz does have to invest his flash. And it will lead to the second Herald being picked up. Second Herald, not the most impactful one necessarily, as, yeah, this is Fiesta and Peter thinking that initially they're in a good position, but very clearly realizing that they are, in fact, outnumbered thanks to Keen's roam. Peter actually, I think, could have maybe been in trouble there as well if KT had gone into the Yuumi and left the Silas to just be taken down by the other 2 members. So a bit of an overextension there from Nongshim, but not going to be a back-breaking play. As Vital, not the early kill, just been essentially farming up, build up a nice CS lead now, and this is very different than what we've seen from many a Lucian Nami game.
Yeah, and just the quietly farming up as well, I think is actually working out very, very well for him because, oh lord, there's no real expectation at this stage of the game on Vital. He just needs to try and get to those 3 items as soon as possible. As Kane is purging that turret of every little bit of its life force in that bottom lane. Very nicely done. The Ravenous Hydra is done. No more items, some brown bags, and a little Doran's Blade that he had from the beginning of the game. That's all he really cares about. And he's the only one with the gold lead out of all of KT. Sort of also the reason why they're within touching distance for gold, outside of the fact that the kill score is so in favor of Nongshim at this stage of the game.
You're really going to have Keen do some heavy lifting in fights as well.
He's got a lot of legs.
Yeah, but does he have a, you know, good back support?
I don't think you need the, I think he just like holds them up, you know, using his legs. That'll do the lifting.
They sit on his legs as he like.
Because he doesn't really have hands. He's just got guns.
Well, yeah, but they can't sit on his legs. Those shoot Atlas. That's dangerous.
Yeah, but they got a lot of firepower. They're powerful legs.
Yeah, but they can't sit on the legs.
Yeah, they can't sit on them, but they got to find somewhere else. You know?
Well, where on
earth do you see the
space? Well, I guess.
Large
like on the shoulders?
Yeah. And then it's the legs that lift.
I guess.
Yeah, they might have to sit on his head. I don't know. I'm just trying to look at like parts of this ergot that are not a weapon.
There's not
like not very much.
No. Well, skin choice really kind of backfiring there for you.
No, it
Atlas.
certainly is.
Yeah.
Big fail on my part, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. That's the Battlecast skin, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
A bit of an oldie, but a goodie. Leandri's completed here for B2D. Fair bit of extra damage now available. Probably got a bunch of shards up as well. As Keen down here just catching these minions. Blowing them up with those shotgun legs. Look at that. The Hydra value. Really beautifully done. And now Fiesta rotating over. So, it's been a bit slower here in this mid-game for Nongshim, who did have a bit of an advantage. Sylvie, of course, running the show for the majority. It has sort of given a bit of breathing room here to KT. And it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm saying this like that's what they were doing, but I don't know whether the onus was on them in order to do so anyway, just because they do have the Zeri Yuumi, which is such a fantastic condition towards the late game.
They really don't need to. To me, both these team comps are very much about execution. I actually really like the KT comp because it very much plays itself. Only position I think is tough to play is the Urgot to actually get anything done. But Nongshim is very short range, right? So as long as Keen is actually in position to be in the middle of a fight and shred people down with the combination of Ravenous Hydra and his Black Cleaver, then he can have a really big impact.
Keen just built a Black Cleaver outright.
Yeah.
Just a black cleaver.
Just straight up black cleaver.
That's what he bought. He turned a Doran's blade into a black cleaver. That's what he did.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Aiming also went from being half an item behind to just immediate rapid fire cannon as well. At least that's how it felt to me. Is teleport coming through. This is of course a possible soul point for Nongshim if they do get this. And it looks like they're going to say, no, we don't really care. You can take this Drake. It is just a single ocean. A lot more decisiveness of Nongshim compared to what we saw of them previously. And they might actually be looking towards getting a kill on the inner, which would be a very favorable trade for them. Although Kitty is responding.
Yep, Shirley going to come up towards that top side.
I like this.
Take the Drake Sylvie.
Yeah, they spot him. Yeah, KT saw that one. Did see it coming, but I like the idea here from Nongshim. Try and set it up, but in Challenger that works. Unfortunately, not the case here. He is alone.
Yep, and they are going to be able to get the charge. So Shirley getting her job done beautifully here. Fiesta not going to find the chains. Speedity still at full health, absolutely fine. Extendo beam being fired towards aiming, but nothing really to worry about as far as that mid lane. Just a 1v1 casually there. Still 30 CS up for Vital. Having a great game here. Of course, was one of the players that you were singing the most praises about. Chronicler was Vital in his return. Looking forward to seeing how this one's going to go as Cuz uses his extra tankiness quite nicely there as a flash out from Fiesta gets him to safety, steals away the Glacial Prison, and that's fantastic, but Cuz survives for so long, the Cyclone's not enough, and aiming locks down the kill. KT just standing their ground, and I swear Cuz was dead.
I think Nongshim there not really expecting everyone to be there. That was kind of a split call with, is everyone there? Are we going to go in fully or not? Because initially it looks like they just want to pressure Cuz, then they get a couple of ultimates, and they think they might have seen an opportunity. We'll be getting a bottom on the, or turret rather, on the bot side of the map, but if you have to answer with your own mid, it's not quite going to be worth it. Health bars are kind of low. This might be in trouble.
To connect as well. There's the disdain as Fiesta's dashing away. He will survive for now as he throws the chains out. But Dundun is just going to hijack him. He picks up the kill though. And now he's looking to turn it another disdain as he's almost killing 4 people by himself. In the meantime, the rest of KT are like, we'll take the turret. You got do what you want, Keen. It's fine.
Ooh, and that's a toughie as to who that is more worth it for, because I do think that Keen had a shutdown on him thanks to the farm advantage that he did have. But let's take a look at this play first, where Nongshim have teleport here on Dunyan, so they can actually fully commit to a 5v5. I think they were expecting the Urgot to still be towards the bot side of the map, and that's why Sylvie gets a little bit overexcited there as well, trying to connect. This is a very funny sequence of events, because Fiesta is actually just fine. Makes it out, and then Dundun brings him back. Fiesta is immediately AoE'd even through the exhaust. And Dundun after that one is probably gonna both giggle, as he always does, and apologize to his teammate for literally killing him. But I think it's still worth it, because the one who picked up the shutdown gold and the kill was Vital. And Vital, to me, is the pivotal point of this composition. So even though that looks pretty clowny and the turret still went down, I think as Nongshim, you're still going to be not too unhappy about that trade, but this is kind of showcasing some of the inexperience from Nongshim. Hold up!
Yeah, here we go. Sylvie's looking for the Lucian, and he'll find him. He just explodes. Cuz has to walk it out. Fiesta grabs himself a tidal wave as Dundun looking for that flank angle, and he will get it. Nongshim, they'll just return the favor. Grab this outer turret in the mid lane. And man, KT are being forced to work for this one. I think Nongshim feeling pretty good about the state of this game.
Really are. Can't give up this inner though. Keen is just pushing.
Yeah.
And I think it might go down. I don't know if Dundon actually has the damage. And I don't think he can 1v1. Keen's not going to take the risk because he also doesn't know if reinforcements are showing up. They are. Dundon also doesn't die though, and he does have a 4 mil. So
Vital's going to turn up. All right, there is the fear beyond death. Can Keen get him low enough? The answer is no. I mean, it's Casante. So
it's Casante with Yuumi.
Yeah.
So no.
It was optimistic at best. But Keen had no flash. There was no way that he was going to make it out. And also didn't get the turret, like you already illustrated.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a disaster overall, unfortunately, as these Wukong engages have been so good, even that is on top of a pink ward as well, right? But aiming just getting blown up in a matter of seconds, and this Wukong and Yuumi combo, I already can tell you with absolute certainty, regardless of who wins this game, Nongshim's not getting that again. As here, yeah, this is a 4-0. And even with Black Cleaver, even with Ravenous Hydra, there is no way that you're killing a full tank Dundun with Peter on top of him as well. And I'm pretty sure that Vital's just going to straight up build an item. Should be Quick Blades based on what we've seen so far. There we go. Just from Pickaxe to Quick Blades, thanks to that. And now 50 CS up. And Vital to me was one of the better parts of Nongshim in Spring in Challengers. And then when he went to the LGL, played on Rascal Jester from the top of my head, did very well there as well. Although he did eventually lose out to Dead FM for the actual World qualification. I thought he was going to be sorely missed. Actually, as we found out, Jiwoo, the current Challenger players, is pretty good. But I've seen Vital do some truly disgusting stuff when he is in a position to carry, and it doesn't get much better than this.
No, exactly right. And also, Vital has had a lot of experience as well, right? Like, spent some time in OCE, came back to Challenger, then went to LJL, now he's back again. As here's the Cyclone from Sylvie, looking for the priority target. This time aiming is going to survive, but he's just going to get ulted by the Silas. Fear Beyond Death comes in though, and Keen is terrifying. Fiesta, however, is also going to be able to take down Cousin. Now Keen is on the wrong side of this one. We've seen this position before, and it's going to be another kill to Vital. 5-0-1 for this Zeri.
Getting more and more fed, and even with Sylvie going down, he's the one that baits the cooldowns, that instigates the fights. He creates the space, and immediately Vital and Fiesta able to capitalize. That's going to be Soul Point now picked up for Nongshim, but more importantly, I'm a firm believer in momentum in a game, and Nongshim, besides that one kerfuffle that they had around the jungle, right over here, that we're looking at, where they were giving over a few kills, have just been winning team fights, and that's a very, very tough position to be in. If you are KT, it's constantly Nongshim on the front foot, on the offensive, and yeah, Sylvie dies to Keen, but as far as targets go, the only one that's less important is Dundun. And you know, he's still in comms. He's still there for morale, Atlas, so
and also really Sylvie had done his job. He'd already, like, basically won that team fight for them.
Yeah,
by getting the amazing Cyclone. So yeah, he was done. His job, it's over. It's beautiful. Excellent stuff. Soul Point now going to be picked up like you were talking about. Nongshim had that one delayed slightly by KT, but of course they were able to grab a turret for their efforts anyway. So nothing to worry about there whatsoever. As KT lying in wait, they have a lot of vision around the Baron. But it does look like there is not too much to be had here. Dash forward from aiming wants to get a bit of damage, but Sylvie, Warrior Trickster available, he'll be fine. As Dundun all out max level. Are you ready for the ultimate big tanky Cassandra?
Also went Flash instead of Ghost, which is what we've mostly seen. I don't know if that's his personal preference or whether that's a choice against Urgot specifically. Do you think it makes sense?
I feel like that's a Dundun choice, because I feel like it does just make you far more flexible in teamfights to get those all-out
and
position.
He's not playing for himself.
No, so not the Dundun way.
Except when he really commits to the split push. If you haven't seen that game, I really would recommend that you watch it. You know, after all this, it's 2 hours earlier LCK, so you have the time.
Yeah, that's true. After this, if you're still craving some more LCK, just go back and check out that Challenger final, because it will definitely show you some Dundun action.
Yeah, it will show you a lot. Not all of it is good. A lot of it is bad, actually, but it is all pure entertainment.
It is.
As overall, this is where we've seen a lot of our less experienced / challenger / rookie-ish, teams kind of stall, which is when the map opens up and when you really have to start setting up for objectives. Because thus far, hasn't really been a threat at Baron, and with the lead that Nongshim have, I would be perfectly happy if they just started up, right? Your turn is great, can try and force an awkward position. You have the sustain as well to kind of tank the Baron for a little bit with the Yuumi available, but might be wanting to wait for Sylvie's flash to be up again, because he, to me, has been the big difference maker in this game thus far.
Yep. Kane has completed his Jack Show as well, so that is going to be a scary ogre in the next fight, being able to fire out all sorts of different shots all the time. Kind of makes it a bit interesting. Still not exactly as tanky as he wants to be, because he's just gone full damage, basically, with his first 3 items. It's like bruiser. I guess not full damage, just bruisery.
Very bruisery, yeah. We'll be having a lot of resistances if he actually is able to get off the Jack Show drain.
If he can get it stacked up, yep.
That'll be fine. And a little bit K-Ram. There's no objective on the map, so there's no way that anyone will actually trigger pull here. Because why would you?
Yeah.
There's no reason. There's no
possible reason, Atlas. We like pacificity here in the LCK.
We really do. I think we're very committed.
The less violence there is, I think the better. And I think the world is a better place for it.
It is simply a more elegant way of playing League of Legends.
Yeah, refined.
Sure. Absolutely.
And, there are other regions, and if you enjoy that, then maybe you just don't understand how it's supposed to be done.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Well, I would... You really went in there. I was trying to be nice. Man. Oh, it's fine. We also know that the other regions call us boring.
Yeah.
And slow.
I know.
And glacially paced.
And it's wrong.
They're right. But they're not looking at it the right way.
You're not helping me here. But yeah, no, you're right. And I actually kind of want something to happen, because otherwise...
What's going to?
We might get in trouble. Like,
right?
What are we going to talk about next? Who knows?
Yeah, that's the rabbit hole is starting a little bit early. And we still have possibly 2 more games after this.
Yeah.
As Infinity Edge is now done for aiming, so his burst is going to be completely unreasonable. But in terms of map control...
BDD just walked away from a cannon.
Did he hit
that wasn't even missing the cannon. He walked away from the cannon.
Did he hit? Oh no, he's not yet fully stacked up. As
quite yet as Sylvie dashing forward. Cuz not his target, however. As Keen, I mean, what I want to see is the combo from KT, right? Which is Keen lands the ult, and then you cull that player down, and you're able to pick it up. Scatter the Weak's fantastic. To start this one off as another Cyclone comes in. This time, not going to get that massive value, though, as Keen goes golden. Fiesta now fighting him, but he's going to do the same thing here as Cuz flashes away. Fantastic Scatter the Weak. But Vital just goes into the front line. I don't know about that, buddy. The bubble. Phenomenal here as the knockback from the Kazante, and Vital is still alive. They are definitely doing it, and Lehens, no options here whatsoever. It wasn't pretty, but it worked, and Nongshim get the ace.
And with the power of friendship, is that a good call? I don't know, Atlas, but it definitely worked, as Nongshim, at the very least, going to get themselves an inhibitor, do not have Zeri, so I'm not going to call it over quite yet, but at the very least, going to be a demanding lead up here. Wondering what they're going to try and go for the actual end. Looks like they will.
Oh, they got a wave. They've got a Yuumi. They can do this.
Yeah, they're going to.
They are. 10 seconds left on aiming. This one is over, and Nongshim are going to do it. They'll take down KT in the Sunday of upsets, Chronicler. This is it. The power of friendship reigns true.
Oh, Dundun smiling. Of course he is. Cool kids never panic. We learned in the last series, and in this one, little bit of challenger glory at the very least in this first game. And for KT, this is where it really starts to get dangerous, because BDD already said we should win. This should be a very decisive victory for us. And what's happening instead is what Fiesta was talking about. We got nothing to lose. We don't care. You saw those health bars there. You think they knew they were going to win that fight?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. I actually thought it didn't start off nearly as well as a lot of their other ones did, but didn't even seem to matter. Vital frontline for half of it. Still was absolutely okay. Really, really fun stuff. And, yep, a lot of Nongshim family members here in the audience. Sylvie and Peter and
that's adorable.
Everyone really, really cute. And this is you know, some of the things about having the LCK happen on the Lunar New Year. It means that a lot of these family occasions for the players are impossible, but not if you just bring your family to LoL Park. That's how you fix it. And it worked out beautifully here. So Nongshim able to celebrate, but KT, it's a crushing defeat. And it's very similar to our last series, the 3-gamer, where Live Sandbox were able to come out on top against Humble Life Esports. KT, another team with a lot of experience, a lot of big names, and they have just been taken down by, yes, the Challenger champions, but the Challenger team nonetheless.
Okay, I'm seeing these Stammas charts. I still voted for Sylvie. I just want to put it out there. I want to make very clear.
I would have 100% voted for Sylvie.
I know. Because this game, to me, was the perfect encapsulation of Sylvie carrying exactly by doing what he needed to do, as did really the entire team. The only one who didn't really do anything was Fiesta, because he didn't really need to. He was just kind of there. And the jungle matchup, to me, was a break point. The draft from KT has got to be different, because this was a very, very impressive show from Nongshim.
Man, what an incredible day it has been so far. And the best part about it, Chronicler, is the fact that it will continue. We'll have game number 2. We are going to go to a short break. When we get back, the space and that game 2.